Okay, means and ends. Immanuel Kant was a philosopher who was really interested in the kind of moral universe. He wanted to try and understand what humanity was in its sort of moral state. And he came up with this idea of end in itself as a way of how we should treat humans. He expressed the idea that we should treat humans as ends in themselves, not as means to an end. So I'm currently stood in a shelter in a park, and I'm using this shelter as a means to try and get out of the wind. So it's a thing, it's okay to use it as a means to an end. I'm a lecturer at a university. I write lectures for the university, and the university pay me for those lectures. I use the money that they pay me to do those lectures so that I can buy food and eat as a means to an end. The university has students. It charges those students to use its facilities, and by charging those students, it can continue to function and exist. The students that go to that university, they come to university, they use my lectures as a way of gaining credits so that they can get the necessary credits they need to get a degree. All of those things are means to an end. But none of them are just means. We're not exploiting each other just as something to exploit each other. We're using each other in kind of a fair, equitable way. But when humans do exploit each other, the exploitation is that you see the other human not as an end in itself, but as a means to an end for your own needs. You can apply it to animals. So certainly animal ethics can be used, can use the means and end philosophy. So is it moral to use the labor of an animal? Is it moral to use an animal for our entertainment in sport? Is it moral to use an animal's body and its flesh as a way of feeding ourselves when the animal is a sentient being? Is it moral? And of course, the animal rights debate is a wider debate than this, but it's you can apply Kantian's philosophy to it, or Kantian philosophy to it, as a way of trying to understand what means and ends are. We're living right now through a global pandemic, and obviously billionaires at the moment are getting very rich at the moment. And one could say that the way that they are treating perhaps their workers to exploit the situation might be a way of just seeing their workers as a means to an end. And Kant might say that these people, these billionaires, are, well, the word that he might use to describe them sounds a little bit like Kant.